Good morning. This is Coach Brenay. I'm Program Manager for the Bay City facility, and this is our Adults and Teens lesson number 26. Good morning, everybody. Let's begin. We're going to get a good workout today. We're going to stay moving around, but if you have some space, get there now. Have a good workout area or the yard even to work out in, But we're going to begin with our shadow boxing today. So throwing our punches and kicks, doing what we got to do to get our body warmed up to throw our combinations, but I want you to add this in today. We're going to add in quarter turns. Now quarter turns are very simple. You're simply picking up your lead leg, picking up your lead heel. You want to keep your toes on the ground here, so I do a little Michael Jackson step and turn. So the idea is I pick up my heel, I turn my back leg facing the way I want to face. So quarter turns are very useful to use when you're sparring, when you're fighting, when you have an opponent to get to their dead side to create angles. We're always moving as martial artists, and quarter turns help us get there. So when we're dancing, when you do a quarter turn, a lot of times if you start that out, you kind of lead the dance a little bit. So if you're quarter turning all over the place, they're trying to catch up to you. You dictate what happens next. That gives you moments, opportunities to strike. So that being said, we want to practice this as much as possible. So turning, throwing some strikes, turn, throw some strikes. But the idea is it's fast, it's fluid. We're always moving our bodies. Obviously last week we were working on our bobs and weaves, we're working on our slips. Those are very, very, very applicable as well, but they're not so much dictating what happens next. They're more of a counter. You're avoiding the opponent. Now when we do a quarter turn, we're leading the fight. We're taking the offensive. So I want you to think that way. We are moving forward. We are taking the offensive. So in that mindset, we throw our strikes, boom, boom, boom. They throw them back. Let's say someone throws a hook. We're going to cover. We're going to absorb the blow. We can even turn our hips with that giving us some energy so that we can throw a cross hook back. So try this out. You can move, quarter turn, cover, cross, hook. Quarter turn, cover, cross, hook. Try the other way now if you'd like. You can cover from your rear side, hook, cross. So quarter turn, cover, hook, cross. So even if you turn into the quarter turn, you can be ready. You can absorb the blow and still turn it into a positive outcome. So always being ready, always having our spider senses is kind of part of being a martial artist. We're always on our toes, always ready. So moving forward, today we're going to be doing tripod push-ups. So meaning we're going to put one leg forward, bending our elbows, getting our chest as close to the ground as possible. But the idea is we want to do as many reps as possible. So as quickly as possible, busting out our arms so they're tired, switching legs. The idea is I want you to stay moving, alternating legs when you get tired. Now, you should feel it in your arms. So from here, we want to keep our hands up and we can work into hammer fists. And now hammer fists are very useful if we are getting hit. If someone's hitting us, we can block, we can cover. But from here, if we don't have that space, we can use our hammer fists to get the offensive. Hammer fists are very useful in the Krav Maga setting, using our arms like clubs. Using this part of our arm right here, the blade of our arm, or the blade of our wrist here, to smash and club to get them back. So, we can hammer fist. We can throw our covers, we can cover up from both sides and then work into hammer fists. We can cover, we can hook, cross, we can cover, cross, hook. But I'm giving you options. Now let's say we don't have our hands. Someone has our arms back. There's an enemy in front of us, behind us, to our sides. It doesn't matter. We have a wrecking ball on the top of our body. Your head has a lot of weight. There's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of water and brain. So this is hard. Now, when you do a headbutt, be mindful of this. You're using the crown of your skull here. So imagine you have like a tiara on or a crown. You want to use right along that edge to headbutt. Now, when we headbutt, it starts at our feet. A lot of people think they're going to whip their neck. No, that's just going to give you neck problems. So You start at your toes. You want to use your entire body. And I want you to get in the habit of, I don't have my arms. My arms are locked at my side. I'm like a mummy in a casket, and I'm going to, boom, bust right out. So the idea is, if someone's ahead of us, in front of us, I'm targeting with the crown of my skull to the middle of his head or the top of his nose. So right around this zone right here, I like to put a target right about here. And I crack right about there. You hit someone hard enough there, it will stun them, it will break their nose, they're going to move back. But let's say someone's behind us, just the opposite. Now, this might sound silly, but I like to imagine I'm a graceful dolphin coming out of the water when I do my headbutt. But the idea is I'm pushing with my feet, with my toes, using my entire body to go forward or sideways or out, but I'm using all the resources on hand. I don't have access to my arms. I don't have access to my legs. I mean, I can't even stop someone's feet at this point. All I have left is my head. Now, a very common mistake when doing a headbutt is people think, I'm going to bend at the waist and I'm going to crack back. No, especially if someone's got you in a bear hug, you're not going to have access to your hips anymore. They're going to take your hips away. They're going to take your legs away sometimes. If someone picks you up, you're just swinging this guy around. There's got to be a rhyme and a reason to it. So thrust, through, and back. The longer someone holds you and restrains you, the worse it is for you. You want to get away, like someone grabs you, it's 1.1 milliseconds after that, you're blasting them with your skull, they're going to move. You hit someone hard enough with your skull, they will move, I promise. Also, if you hit somebody that stuns, you can work into the hammer fist, creating more space, working into punches, even more space, into a push kick. But there's a series of events, and I want you to think, what works best for you? I mean, I think a push kick would be applicable, but some people might want to go into a side kick. Have some fun with it. We're martial artists. As martial artists, we like to think about the what if. You know, when you're shadow boxing, think about the what if. Work like there's a whole room full of bad guys coming at you, because we need to push ourselves. We need to take ourselves to that next level. So, moving forward, we're going to get into our horse stance. We're going to do a squat to a round kick. So when we do this, we're squatting low, keeping our feet facing forward, backs up. We squat, kick, squat, kick, squat to a kick. So you should feel it in your legs. Do this until it burns, guys, and then end it with a nice jog. It's always nice to end your warm up or your workout with a cool down. I like to jog, I like to run, I like to move around. That's just what I do. But do what feels good for you. Some people like to do some light weight work. But whenever you do your martial arts or do your exercising, I want you to incorporate some sort of martial arts to it. Like for instance, when you're holding your weights, throw some punches with them. Enjoy yourself. Think about your kicks. Think about your body positioning. Think about your footwork. Especially your footwork, because that was the biggest thing about today. When it comes to headbutts, it starts at our feet. When it came to quarter turns, it starts at our feet. Squats, anything, it starts with our feet. That's where the power comes from. Then it goes to your hips. It moves through your entire body. So, moving forward, today we're going to work on crescent kicks. Now, crescent kicks are very useful because if someone has their hands out in front of them, they have their hands out away from their body. You can use a crescent kick to disarm. You can use a crescent kick to surprise. Because if someone's trying to fight you, right, my hands are here. You go, hey, look up here. They're looking at your hands. You pop them with your foot, and then you can pop them with your hands. You can lower their guard. You can bring their hands to their dead side, away from their body, opening up their chin or their cheek. So, keep that in mind. We can do an outside crescent kick, which is basically I chamber up, across my body, and out. So chamber up, across, and out. Up, across, and out. And then there's the inside crescent kick, which is just the opposite, which is out, then back to the inside. So out, inside. Inside, across, out, outside, across to the in. So one way, rewind, opposite way. So crescent kicks are very useful. You can use a crescent kick to the outside, switch stance. Crescent kick to the outside, switch stance. You can use that to create, you know, an unfavorable situation for the enemy as well. You know, you're switching stance, bam, 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 bam. They're not gonna know what's coming. So have some fun, like I said, with your martial arts. When you're exercising this week, incorporate these crescent kicks to your workout. So if I don't hear from you, have some fun, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you.